Welcome back, friends. Boy, do I got some crazy stuff for you tonight. I'm sure you guys have heard about the Washington, D.C. UFO slash UAP crash, which I was on the third phase of moon panel the other night talking about it. If you want, maybe we'll go into it a little at the end of this. And if you want more, I'll cover it more. But right now, let's talk about this massive, tall alien that was filmed in Mexico. Now, what is going on? It sounds like we're in the middle of an invasion, but let's stop the talking and get straight to this video. Here we go. Yes, it looks a little small at the beginning, but just hang tight, folks. Let me know what you think. Tell me in the comments. Now, obviously, I muted it because this is in Espanol, and I'm not very good at narrating. Let me just actually, my logo is not really in the way. Okay, I'll just move it that way you can see the actual person who filmed it. Now, look, you see that thing walking across right off the bat, looks like just a normal human. But then when you see the size of that bus going by, you're like, huh, that guy's a little tall. What if he's just one of those giant basketball players? I don't know. Wait till we get a little closer than that and you see his limbs. His arms are a little long. This guy, if it's a guy, I don't know. Now, if you all heard what I posted earlier this year about the guy who was involved in the program, probably one of the greatest stories ever I've seen in 40 plus years of paying attention to this topic, in 12 plus years of being professionally involved in ufology. That is probably the best confession I have heard, the most concise, and fits with everything else we know, adds new elements to the story that we haven't heard before. So if you haven't heard it before, pay attention. But one of the things about it is that these things visiting us were manufactured to be here. Of course, a lot of people talk about the AI drone aliens. If you remember hearing my John Lear interviews in the past, you probably heard him say that these are glorified robots. Look how tall that sucker is when it zooms in. Look at that. Now, I'm waiting for you guys to see the limbs. Let me check. I don't want to get past the length of this because after that is a video that I actually covered the other day. So, again, I would want to know in your comments what you think. Now, I've get a lot of people who have been contacted there. Look at that. This is obviously a different one. So we're talking two separate beings. I think this is the better one. Those are not normal arms, folks. Those are not normal arms. Now, I there's a video that I put on a lot of my interviews in the background for eye candy where it shows something very similar running from left to right on top of a mountain. Look at that. Is that a second being on the right? It looks like it. Is this like a gathering of aliens? It's like wearing a one-piece jumpsuit. What is that? That is two aliens we are looking at. So why are they appearing? And this is a tall sucker, the one on the left. It looks like it's wearing a one-piece spacesuit. If you look closely, it looks like those are the giant black wraparound eyes. Those arms are way too long to be human. The neck is very tall, very long as well. And the head doesn't look that disproportionate to the size, but it looks a little larger than a human. Okay, let's see if it's going to show us a little more on the right side. Now, we don't have much more of this footage. Look at those arms. Wow, these things are like going, oh, whoa, this is behind a home too. Now, this comes courtesy of my dear friend Jaime Musan in Mexico, a host of 60 Minutos, 60 minutes, and Cuatro Cinco Horas, 24 hours, as well as Tercer Millennium, Third Millennium, which you can find on YouTube. This is the first one again. So again, people have been abducted, contacted. Let me know what you think of this. Now, I mentioned crashes, right? If you haven't heard that third phase of moon episode that I was a part of the other night, well, then let's get into that right now. First, let me remove Jaime Mason. And actually, as I segue into that video, let me tell you some breaking news. Uh, this has been reported a couple places, but not very many. Now, this is going to sound super far fetched, but this is not coming from my mouth. This is just being repeated from what the people that are familiar with the DoD and Pentagon UAP program are in it. We're talking senior officials in Washington, D.C., involved with the program. What they're saying is that, quote, The Sumerian gods are returning, unquote. Now, wow, that is kind of shocking. What are they talking about? The Anunnaki? Again, this is for you guys to decide. I'm just telling you what I've heard. And as you know, I have a kind of extensive history or knowledge on the history of UFOs and what's going on. So I try to connect the pieces, especially in a lawyerly fashion using logic. So, anyway, let's get into what happened in DC just the other night. Now, it came as one UFO crash, and it ended up being apparently over 20 in Washington, D.C., which you know is very small. And then, of course, the surrounding areas such as Langley, which is in Virginia. Some people say North Carolina, which unfortunately just got hit by that hurricane. This is the video that the guy posted initially. And apparently he heard an explosion, but you don't hear one in the audio. He said once he posted it, he got a lot of DMs that said that these people saw something similar in a different area of DC or a surrounding state. And he said there was more than 20 reports. Now, again, I would love to corroborate this. So I'm just hoping people out there who live in that DC area or the surrounding areas come forward. Now, with those giant aliens I just showed you, whatever they are, people report very tall beings before. They could be interdimensionals, they could be monsters, whatever they are. They don't look human to me. And Jaime is really good at generally checking out footage before he puts it out there. Sure, hoaxes always get through, but I don't believe that was a particular hoax. Now, if it was, hey, we're all going to be taken for suckers. That's the unfortunate part about this field, especially the field we live in now. But let me say this again, there is no financial incentives for UFOs. This is the UFO that was filmed over Langley. Again, if you want to see the whole discussion on this, let me know, or just check it out on Third Phase of Moon. Like I said, I was part of that discussion. So I'm going to leave it at that so I don't make this video too long today. Now, if you guys want, I found a cache of extraordinary old interviews, including my very first ones that you have never, ever heard before. So if you would like to hear them, then please do let me know. I will put them up. Obviously, yeah, might as well, because a lot of them are fantastic, especially from people that have already passed on. I'm sorry the camera's not working. Hey, remember, if you're here for the first time, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, share this with someone. And if you're feeling generous, can skip a Starbucks coffee for the day, please super chat, or no, you can't super chat while I'm not live, but leave a super thanks. Now, also hit the notifications, because when I decide to go live again, and I am actually recording or live with a guest, which, as you've known, if you look through my interviews, there are many, many high profile guests, and I do take questions. You want to keep your notifications on. With that being said, keep your eyes in the sky. Please film stuff, send it to me, Third Phase of Moon, and we will get it out there for you guys. We are living in AD. This is year 7 AD. AD, not Anno Domini. It's after disclosure, folks. Disclosure happened December 2017 when they announced that the Pentagon UFOs and that there was that UAP program. All right, that is enough for the night, and let's see what other crazy footage pops up.